Ever since I was a foal, my fathers and the centaurs of Sotiri would tell me stories about the stars, that they were magic and made from the gods who made the gods, the elders, beings of great wisdom, ingenuity, and power. They were considered fairy tales, myths, that they didn't exist, or, if they did, they were long, long gone. But I always wanted to hear about them and learn more anyway, even into adulthood. It was a desire that filled my whole being, something I needed, like how the sea needs the moon. I never believed for a second I would see an elder shard, let alone hold one, but I did. Its power filled me with strength and skill, flooding every part of mine and my companions' beings as we killed a god. We killed a god. Pirate Queen, Sea Hag, the mother of krakens, the great unbeheld, Eula Saltsmile. But the power was fleeting, temporary. It was gone as soon as it arrived, and once again I felt empty. But this time, I realized I was empty, that something was missing, that I was lost. Now I know and recognize that I was just foam drifting on the waves, a yearning that I had my whole life that I never knew about returned, and with it, a voice, calling, one whose words I cannot hear, nor am I able to respond to, no matter how hard I try.
Hey! Hi! I don't have time for this. No offense, very busy. Hand me that red flask. The one on the left. Your other left. Oh, it's Winnie, sea scavenger extraordinaire. Shouldn't she be scavenging? Yes, I should. But no, there's things out there. Star things. Powerful things. World-changing things that need to be investigated. There's something... Jeffrey, don't eat that. Something I know I knew. There's so much I don't remember, don't know. I have to relearn it, but how? So, I'm here, experimenting, trying not to set the ship on fire. I don't even know what I'm looking for, exactly. Can a star be created? Can you get close to making a star? How do you reverse engineer the biggest magical object you've ever come across when you don't even have it anymore? See, I'm really good at the questions, but all I'm finding so far are more of them and no answers. Well, and a potion that makes you, really strong. That's not what I wanted. Hey, do you... No, Jeffrey, don't eat that!
After so many years under Eula's thumb and having my whole life determined for me, being told what was right and what was wrong, having no one else but her, I'm finally free. Or so I thought. It was never redemption that I yearned for. No, someone like me could never do enough to make up for all the bad I've done in the name of a fake idol. All I've ever wanted was to be desired, and in my search for it, I betrayed the one who made me. I betrayed her for the thing that she feared most, and I tore her and her kingdom down. Now, it's all I can feel. It's hunger, a constant reminder of what lurks just below the surface. Its name occurs across my skin, ever present, ever threatening. I led it here. I fed it power, and it wants more. It craves the power that only the gods wield, and it will destroy me to get it. So, I'll just have to destroy it first.
Everyone lives their lives bound by what they accept as correct and true. That is how they define their reality. But what does it mean to be correct or true? those are merely vague concepts. Their reality may be all a mirage. I was an arbiter of a zealot Triton tribe, the Nalos. I was true to my traditions until I found my reality was a mirage, an illusion to subjugate my people and gain power for an evil demigod. Now I have been touched by darkness and broken by a false oath. Tell me where I should go now. To the left, where nothing is right, or to the right, where nothing is left? I turn to the shadow, for that is the only place for a monster like me. I am the ghost of the Tritons. I am the darkness of the Nalos. I am the unholy warrior of the seas. I am the Shadow Knight, Proximus.
Waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lore you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Horizon's Call. We're very glad to be back. We're very glad to have you all here. My name is Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. Yes, Sword is my real last name. Yes, it is awesome. No, you cannot have it. Before we get into any of the game stuff today, I actually did want to have a little talk with everybody. There's two things I wanted to cover. One's a little heavy, the other one's a little bit lighter. Please stick around. I appreciate it. First, I just want to make a statement. This music does not match what I'm about to say, but I just want to make a statement from Sword and Key for me as a co-founder, speaking for Eva, but I think I speak for everybody on our channel. Personally, I have seen over the past few days on several news organizations, as well as trending on Twitter almost every single day, that apparently today is being considered a, quote, National Day of Hate by several hate groups here in the United States. So I just wanted to be very clear, as clear as possible, that from all of us, Sword and Key, fuck Nazis, fuck Terps, fuck racists, fuck bigots of all kinds. We don't stand for that. We don't fuck with that. We in fact, Eva and I made it a cornerstone of this channel to try to boost marginalized voices and try to boost the perception of marginalized people. So absolutely, the concept of that stands for everything that we're against. And we have mods preventing anybody from coming into chat and spreading that kind of nonsense here as well. So I definitely want to come out because typically I don't like to give a voice to these people. I don't like to give them attention because that's what they want, and the last thing they deserve is any type of attention. But especially with all of the violence that has been coming out lately, and especially legislation that has been coming out lately, whether it's towards the Jewish community, Black communities, Asian communities, LGBTQ plus communities, especially those in drag and trans communities, they're seeing a lot more hate and violence towards them. And with this somewhat organized day around it, we didn't want to stay silent on this. So if we were never clear before, I hope we are clear now, to say it even louder and clearer. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. I want to make sure that I got everything, so I actually did type this out. People cannot be illegal. by the station of where they were born. We are fully in support of the LGBTQ plus community, including those in the trans, drag, ace, arrow, and bi communities as well. We stand against AAP I hate. We are fully in support of women, including their access to reproductive health, and we firmly believe that there are no Nazis in Valhalla. All that said, I am still a Waits This Guy doing my best, so if I forgot something, I apologize. Assume that it is in there. But that's where we stand. As a channel, as a community, if you disagree, you are more than welcome to leave and let that block hit you on the way out. Just wanted to make that clear. So I appreciate that. That was the heavier stuff. Thanks for sticking around through that. Onto the lighter stuff, and actually a fun thing. Tomorrow is a very special day for Sword and Key. It's a very special day for me, but even more so, it is a special day because it is the birthday of my partner and co-founder of this channel, the Eva Serate, however you happen to pronounce it.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. So I wanted to take a moment to wish her the happy birthday, say I love you very much. And you are an incredible storyteller. You are an incredible player, person, partner, fur mom to our mini zoo. And also to all of you in chat, Eva has a Throne account listed on her Twitter, if any of you would like to show your appreciation through any type of gift giving. If you do send a gift, please send a note, because we've gotten a couple of things that don't have notes and we're very confused.
Please send a note, and thank you whoever has sent me things. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate it.
Okay. All that said, let's get on to game stuff. As I said, my name is Derek Sword. You see him pronouns. I am the GM of Domaris of Horizon's Call. I am the guiding compass as we navigate these tempestuous seas. So I do want to say, before I have these lovely people introduce themselves, you do appreciate all of them. The best way that you can show that support to the show, to these people, is through Pally, because honestly, how could you not appreciate them? They're fantastic folks. They're fantastic role players. So Pally.gg, which you can see in chat, is a wonderful tool that we use. Anything you donate through there gets evenly distributed based on shares to all of our players, production, and GMs for any games that we use Pally for. Basically, when you gift subs, bits, all that kind of stuff through Twitch, it's very much appreciated. It benefits the channel directly, but Twitch takes too big of a cut and it doesn't get distributed the way that we would like. So we definitely encourage Pally over Twitch. And if you do donate in any way, regardless, you actually can impact the game. You can do so through advantages, crits, and also something which we call a black spot, which is a particular level of difficulty which is added to something, or even something like where we're going to be resolving today, a were-shark bite. Things get a little bad. You also can impact the game and my life personally. If we do hit a hype train in chat, I am contractually obligated to sing a sea shanty at break, so keep that in mind. All of that said, I am done talking for a minute. I'm going to have these lovely folks introduce themselves, say a little bit about them. So, Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hello, my name is Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I play Acacia, who uses she, her pronouns. Your lovely centaur rogue something else multi-class now that we leveled up. And she's in for some surprises.
100%. Yes, thank you, Mare. That was the other thing I forgot. I did have the party level up in between games, so if you also would like to say more about your level up, or however much you want to say, please feel free to do so. Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. I'll be playing Proximus. He is your sorcerer and newly atoned paladin.
Absolutely.
And a first mate.
And a first mate.
Congratulations.
And as always, a special thank you to Mikyl for doing the character art for this game and several of our other games as well. Very much appreciated. Kaila.
Hi, hello. My name is Kaila. Use she, her pronouns. I play our warlock siren, Scarlett Shores, who also uses she, her. I took another level of warlock because I'm going to stick with it.
Putting all those eggs in that very spooky basket.
I really just want to please the worm daddy.
Well, there's our next shirt.
I've already been working on it.
So far, our shirts are join our crew and while spit in your mouth, and I just want to please
Cosmic
the worm
Crisis.
daddy.
Oh, and Cosmic Crisis.
Crisis.
I'm excited
Cosmic
for that
Crisis
one.
is another one.
That one's
Yeah.
very
And
good.
I don't know if you can see it in my background, but Joy just flopped the shark on top of her.
Oh,
It's very good. Yeah.
She's perfect. Absolutely perfect, Angel.
Oh,
Not foreshadowing at all. While Kaila deals with that, Eva, birthday girl.
Hi, I'm Eva. I love Joy. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Winnie, also she, her, who is your somewhat anxious alchemical alchemist, who is also a sea elf. And is no longer making she is no longer a living alchemical jug? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alchemy jug.
Alchemy jug. I was like,
Alchemy jug. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's worn off by now.
It has. It was a couple of hours, but you did get your given liquids from it, from yourself, I suppose. Great. Well, we do have a recap that Michael's going to do. I will also say that if you are ever in the middle of the game and you jump in, you can also use the command !recap in chat to get a brief recap of kind of what this session is about. We're trying to be better about that. But Michael has a much more detailed one, so Michael, please take it away.
The last time we met our horizon hopping heroes, Acacia found out that we lost 2 keelboats worth of people, some staying here and some scattering to the winds. This includes mainly Corins. Are we using that? What are we? What Corins? Maybe. No.
Corins is what I've been using. Yeah.
Corins, the Eve Walkers, and some of the Bloodhound crew themselves. Connery and I had spoke about the needs of the first mate and that I was running for the position. He gave me some tips and advice about how the first mates should serve the captain and the crew. I found out that from Connery that Marcus Ash had 2 previous captains that he served under, the Honorable Captain Uric Cross and the mutinous Brindle Kane. While on the beach, Acacia and Winnie discussed the use of the Elder Shard and the Astrolabe in the past. They wanted to continue the search for the new Astrolabe when we find Winnie's home. That will be fun, I think. They investigated the paperwork from the captain's quarters of the Bloodhound. These letters were orders from 4 other ships to join the Nerian Empire as privateers. One ship in particular was an old friend of Acacia, Raimundo, captain of the Way of Waka. It made mention of several characters that I am unfamiliar with, to include Captain Mercy Whalestrom, the Windreach, the Tombstone Twins, and the Anvil Lord. That does not sound fun. While Winnie returned to the ship, the 4 Flittons said their final goodbyes. They left us to venture on, one staying back behind, and one last cuddle-puddle. After she went into her lab and she turned herself into an elven sea elf alchemy jug out of her mouth. That's not my particular bit of tea. Maybe mayonnaise. Scarlett was approached by Sammy, who said it would cost around 5,000 gold to repair the ships and get them seaworthy again. Sammy also noted that the Redemption needed 5 crew members and the Bloodhound needed 20 crew members. He suggested that Scarlett recruit for more crew, and recruit she did. She is so charismatic. That's what I'm calling it, charismatic. He doesn't, yeah. Receiving 26 new recruits for her efforts and mainly just her speech alone. Acacia's father, Curio, asked us to make a stop on the way to Winnie's home to find a new Warforged body. Acacia, Scarlett, and Connery discussed selling a keelboat working with Darius and Curio, and agreed to stop to find him a new body. Scarlett and I met with Marcus Ash aboard the Bloodhound, and I thanked him for his help and assured that I was willing to work. I was willing to work together to align the two ships with a new mission of sailing the seas in honor. I left him with Scarlett, and matter of fact, he has not looked the same since. Anyway, we had a vote for the first mate of the Redemption, and out of the 3, I won. I know that this will be a challenge for me and the crew, but I have faith, and I have made a vow to them that I will not break it. And I believe we hit the seas after that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael. Okay. Yes, you did, in fact, hit the seas after that based on this wonderful travel music that I have. So, you now, all aboard either the Redemption or the Bloodhound, have about 3 weeks of travel ahead of you as you have split the keel boats between the two boats to tow behind to make sure that they also have, the level of speed that you all will. But still, with the ever full sails and with the warship, you are making good time. You're in, just an absolute beautiful area of Damaris. You are near the equator. It is warm. This is very, Pirates of the Caribbean, traditional golden age of pirate kind of weather. So the wind is blowing through the sails and keeping you all cool despite the sun blaring down. And it is just open ocean on all sides, just this beautiful, clear, light blue. The skies look mostly clear ahead. It is the 19th of God's Crown, so we're picking up the day after you left port at Umberley's Eye and Karina. So where are we finding everybody? Let's go ahead and go around. Acacia, you are on the Redemption?
I think I'd be staying on the Redemption.
Okay. Anything you are looking to do in these days of travel that you have to look ahead to?
I think I'm doing a lot of just practicing of at this point, now that we've been on the sea, we have left the island and everything. I definitely noticed my coin is gone.
Yes.
It has been stolen. So I'm doing that with whoever is left in terms of if there's any other Eve Walkers that are here practicing with my dad, and just doing some rogue stuff because I want to work on being more alert, so a lot of practicing on my senses and such like that. I am also helping Curio and just relaying information if needed, so we can dock at the right place in the middle of nowhere, so we can go down to the Warforged city.
Yes. Yeah. So Curio has taken the time, especially with you, to, kind of lay out. He's met with Connery in the captain's quarters and pinpointed where on the map it is. And it is just kind of northwest of the center of what's marked on the map as the Shatters. So the Shatters is kind of this grouping of this archipelago that also includes Shacklebreak, Soteria. It's all of these islands that were made from higher elevation points when the world of Damaris kind of went under the ocean, which is why it looks like an archipelago now. It used to be peaks of mountains and hills and things like that. But he has pinpointed one of the lower areas, apparently a village or city rather, that existed in a valley called Almborg, that was kind of not necessarily wiped away, but was repopulated. A lot of the structures are still there. And he's never been there before, but he has heard that it is one of the Warforged cities that kind of exists beneath the waves, because Warforged, not needing to breathe, just kind of moved in after a certain period of time, since they could live in these structures that were otherwise still there. And he does pinpoint it. He says it's not obvious. There's no structures above the water, but there is a buoy with what he has heard that typically Warforged cities are marked by a floating buoy that also has a flag attached to it. So you should be looking for that city flag.
Okay. I love that.
And then otherwise, yeah, practicing alertness, 100%. Also noticing that your coin is gone. You might need to do some training, not training for yourself, but training for a particular sea elf in your life as well. So I am actually going to jump over now. Winnie, what is Winnie kind of looking forward to in this 3 weeks of travel?
Looking forward is a funny way of looking at it. She's just kind of bustling around doing a bunch of stuff. She is spending a little time probably building up her coin collection. Sort of like Acacia is doing with whoever's left. She is mostly, I think, locking herself in her workroom, though. Workshop, whatever we decide to call it. And just looking stressed a lot, I think.
Okay.
And I think she will probably... Yes, Winnie would absolutely be down for that. I sort of feel like Valerie and Edgar would have stuck around.
Valerie and Edgar are still around. A lot of the Eve Walkers did kind of like take their chance to hop onto other ships, since a lot of them kind of have this lifestyle that also gives them a favor here and there, or kind of like the free passage coins that go around in certain circles. But yeah, Valerie and Edgar being these members of the Eve Walkers who are kind of meant for civilized places. That's where they gather secrets. That's where they gather information. And also because maybe they were asked to say their music brings a certain level of morale to the sailors who are on the ship as well. Is there anything Winnie's working on in her? I'm sorry?
Yes. She, so two things. If I could just roll, my, experimental elixirs once for, like, the future. I'm not gonna, make one each day, but my usual elixirs, just to get that out of the way so I have them written down.
Sure.
I've made a resilience.
Well, they do only last a day.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, I would like to just have this on deck for when
you got
we
it.
actually do something. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to stock it up.
I am, and a swiftness. Okay, cool. And then I'm not going to do this each day just because I think that would be really insufferable. Even though Winnie probably would.
I'll tell you what, if we get into something, you can roll for it and just say that you have it.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But I think at least once over this time, I would like to do one more elixir of unpredictability or whatever it's called. I'm going to write it down this time.
Havoc's Tonic of Chaos. Sure. Havoc's Tonic of Undiluted Chaos. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to roll for each day, but Winnie is approaching a point where she's wanting every edge she can get. And if that means a mouthful of mayonnaise for an hour, that's a choice.
D100, please. 37. Not sure I'd call this an edge. Roll me a D4.
I don't think I have a D4. Oh, I do. 2.
Winnie,
No, don't laugh.
No, it's just dumb. I didn't create this. I probably should go and actually edit some of these because some of them are just dumb. Your mouth starts to water. Not in like the way that like the alchemy jug where your mouth was salivating literal mayonnaise. It just starts to water in the sense of like you're really craving something spicy. You really want spicy food. And I'm sorry, what was the D4?
2.
For 2 days, you really crave spicy food.
Okay, I'm sure Honey loves that.
Winnie just really wants like Taco Bell. Just Taco Bell with fire sauce for 2 days straight. So
Okay, so actually she's going to be out of her... There's going to be
Yes,
2 days in
exactly.
there where she's out of her den a little bit more than other days because she's going to be in the mess. It's not called a mess. The
Galley.
The galley. Wow. That's embarrassing.
It's a mess on like submarines, maybe. I don't know.
I'm
Know what you
pretty
meant.
sure it's not. Pretty sure it's still a galley.
Is it still a galley? Okay.
Yeah, and then she's going to be working on her imbuements and kind of doing weird magic-y stuff to see what new stuff she can get up into.
Just make it spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go to the new first mate of the Redemption. Proximus, with new responsibilities levied onto you. What is your time? Couple of days. What is the first couple of days of Proximus's first mate journey look like?
He has now started a journal where he writes down the responsibilities that he can keep tabs of from everything from what needs to happen from day to day, week to week, and month to month for the ship to run smoothly.
If I could add something to that, I feel like based on Proximus's previous ways of keeping notes, you started to carve on the ship walls, and Connery like literally smacked you with a book and handed you a ledger.
Yes, that is right on brand.
Okay. Great. Yeah, there's a lot in there. I mean, you're learning not only like how to maintain a crew, how to maintain the ship. You're picking up things from Sammy as the bosun. You are picking up nautical terminology from Connery. You're picking up how to navigate winds and navigate stars. You're also trying to navigate politics and also like the economy of a ship and figure out, Trosho comes to you and tells you that, they restock. So take this much out of the tally, but also remember to pay the sailors next time that they get into port. And we probably need to refill this. So you've got a lot going on.
He's feeling very overwhelmed, and I will
Fair.
roll for overwhelmness.
You can't succeed. It's fine. Okay. Well, then let's cut over from the Redemption to the Bloodhound, your new sister ship. This warship. New captain, Captain Scarlett Shores. Where would we find you?
Probably mostly in the captain's quarters, trying to make it my own. Trying to figure out what's there.
Sure. Yeah.
Scrub Kane out of its depths.
We did determine that Marcus had taken some time to scrub the stains and smells out. But yeah, that left it like
those are like the dying stains. I mean, like, he lived here. I would him out.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely what he was going for. It's like the shredded curtains and just like, the yellow stains in the corners. I mean, Kane had no respect for the place that he was in. So yeah, it's like a new apartment at this point where, they've painted that new apartment white over every light switch, and it's got that landlordiness to it. So what would Scarlett be wanting to do? You have here's another thing that you all brought up a couple sessions ago, was potentially renaming the Bloodhound, as well as new flags for your ship and even for your burgeoning navy. So I will describe what the space kind of is. You do have your captain's desk, which has this chair behind it that you can sit at. You can do your journaling there, whatever you need to do. You have 2 empty bookshelves. You have a stained glass pane behind you, which currently depicts the Hounds of Tor, a constellation in Damaris. That is 3 isosceles triangles, all pointed in different directions, meant to depict the 3 heads of watchdogs. And you have a bed, no curtains over it, just simple mattress. This is a feather mattress, so not a lot of like support to it, but at least soft, better than straw. And then you have
doesn't sleep.
Exactly. And then you have your War Council table, which is a slightly taller table meant to be stowed around that has your maps, charts, all that kind of stuff on it. So what would you be looking to add to that? Any changes you would like to make just off the top of your head?
No changes necessarily, because Scarlett is going in with this as in this will not be her ship forever. They cannot keep 2 ships. It's 1, too expensive, 2, a lot of anxiety. And for once, she is actually feeling that anxiety creep in because she is on this ship and she is essentially alone. She has a crew that she doesn't know. She has a crew that she inherently has no secrets on because they're new. So she has essentially no leverage here except for the fact that she is captain. So just trying to build, I don't want to say relationships, but build herself, I guess, while she's over there alone. And, you know, counting down the hours until the new moon, the full moon.
It is, yeah, like
Tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. It is the 19th. The night of the 20th is the full moon. I will say, as you were standing in the captain's quarters, doing your best, feeling that loneliness, you do spot something fly in from one of the open windows, which is kind of like airing out this otherwise dusty, cramped space. And landing on the table is Serona, the flitton that had deigned to stay on the Bloodhound, and she kind of just folds her wings in and looks at you and goes and just looks up at you.
I will go and pet her. And tell her that, say, you were always my favorite.
And definitely just like thrumming purr, like you can feel it through the table, kind of. It is a little bit later into the day of the 19th that you do hear a knock at the door to the captain's quarters.
I will go open the door. I won't yell across the room. It seems rude.
And standing at attention outside is your first mate, Marcus Ash, the Fire Genasi. And he says, again, not really meeting your eyes, Miss, I thought it might be a good time, if it is for you, to meet the rest of your officers.
All right. Show the way.
And he nods as, was that 1, 2, 3, 4 more individuals join him, and they step into the captain's quarters. You have a nice little variety of individuals here. So Marcus addresses each of them. The first being a very large bugbear woman. You've seen large individuals before. Of course, Connery is a larger individual. This one's like Goliath size. Bugbears are like hunched Goliaths. So he says, this is Krej Kurzagar. She's the bosun. So if there's any repairs that need done, she is one of the most knowledgeable individuals I've ever really worked with. Fair, fine, strong work ethic, and honestly, if you're ever looking for any games to play, she is very fond of them. And she smiles at that and goes, yes, actually, I love playing the dice if you do, miss. And I'm happy to have you on board, happy to have you as a captain. And you, again, large bugbear. She has tattoos across her knuckles in goblin, and has some braids kind of like in the fur of her hair, but otherwise is dressed in these like kind of like leathers and sailor sort of gear. Next to Krej, Marcus points to the quartermaster, Esben Kimball, and you see a human man in probably his early 40s. You would guess he's bald, or close cropped hair, very close to bald. He, again, dressed very similarly, kind of just swashbuckler's clothes. But you notice as like he is introduced, he stands at attention and raises his head, and there's a scar around his neck, almost like he'd been garroted or hanged at one point in his life. Says Esben is very capable, has a way of finding things that he's never really explained to me, which I'm perfectly fine with, but can get you almost anything you would need. Our surgeon, and he points to, like, it's almost like a hills and a valley. So if Krej was a hill, Esben would be the valley, and then going up the hill again is a very sturdy, large, but I would say, from my personal point of view, attractive half-orc woman. Says, this is Ripley Scarkeeper. She is actually, surprisingly, a very gentle surgeon. And you would see that she has, like, rings on her tusks. She has tattoos down her arms. Otherwise, like, shaved head and kind of this lighter green skin to her. She actually had once served in the former, now, Imperial Orc Navy and learned her trade there. And I would trust her and any of my men with our lives. And last, and perhaps most importantly, our cook. And he points to a woman who's, again, a little bit shorter than Esben. She has, like, this bronze, and I mean bronze in, like, the metallic sort of sense, bronze skin that it's flecked with these gold freckles on her shoulders, around her nose, down her neck. And he says, this is Astrid Starling. Honestly, the best food you're going to find in all of Damaris. Somehow she's able to make it in our tiny kitchen. These are your officers, should you deem to keep them.
Do you trust them?
Without a doubt, ma'am. Yes.
Then we will keep them.
Very well. And
don't let Honey find out that you claim Astrid can cook better than anyone around. She'll take it personally.
Noted, ma'am. And he nods to all of them, and they nod back. They all leave. He lingers. Captain, is there any assistance I can provide to you today?
Nothing that is coming to my mind at the moment. I've just been trying to settle in, I guess.
Very well. If there's anything I can do, I am, as always, at your service. I shall be above you, literally, at the helm, and I will listen for any call.
One more thing.
Yes.
How have you been sleeping?
Honestly, ma'am, last night was a fret one. I am hoping that the nights get easier.
They do. I promise.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're free to go.
And he swiftly moves out of the room with a nod. Closes the door behind him. Okay. Is there anything anybody would like to do for the next day and a half, really? Where we've got really the day of the 19th and the day of the 20th. Anything anybody is looking to do? Yes, Acacia.
I'm gonna go talk to Winnie.
Please.
And
sorry, go ahead.
I do want to take note of the inventory of chains on the Bloodhound.
Sure.
Super normal.
A warship, lots of chains. Yeah.
Is there a jail cell on this ship?
There is a brig. Yeah.
But like sturdier than what's on the Redemption?
Yeah. There is a 2-cell system, if I want to call it that. There are 2 like barred cells. They have wooden walls, but the doors to them are iron bars.
So they hate music?
Yes, honey, they hate music.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for thinking that was...
So
Acacia, Yes, please.
I head down to Winnie's workshop and just kind of like put my arms up, lean against any like low-hanging ceiling or like beams, and just like kind of look down at
You're
Winnie.
gonna have to open the door because the door.
Oh yeah, I'll come in. I'll do this.
And little Jeffrey is like hanging in front of it with his little fins crossed, like a little door guard. Like he'll let you in, but like that's how you find the door.
I'll do that after coming in.
Okay, yes.
And like stare down at you as to see what you're working on.
I think she's at her table and it's covered in just all sorts of different toolkits and all her weapons and like old parts, like little Jeffrey's old chassis or whatever, like the one with the wereshark divots in it. And it'll take her a second, but hearing the door open. Oh, Acacia, hi. Is it dinner time? What? Hi.
It's like 2 p.m. It's not dinner time.
Oh, okay. Hi.
I seem to be missing a coin.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, that coin.
Yeah, that coin. Yeah. You did pretty damn good.
Thanks.
Didn't notice at all. I'm gonna leave the mystery and not ask when you did this. But
that's good because I don't remember.
Okay then. But what I want to broach the subject is, I think we both need a challenge. Do you want to try and tag team stealing a coin from Edgar? At the risk of us getting very hurt.
Yeah, his teeth seem pretty pointy.
They are.
And I know he's got a little bit of weaponry, but I'm positive the punishment is being bitten. I can sense that from him.
We can talk to Constance. If we get bit, we can get healed.
Yes.
So yes.
Now I'm pretty sure. I don't know how long they're with us, but
that's why we gotta plan now.
Do you have the outline of a plan?
No,
and
absolutely not.
Little Jeffrey's gonna sit on the table and start like pulling out like a piece of paper, like blueprint paper, and a comically over large pencil for him. It's not very good, but he really likes drawing up maps and plans, and I don't know what any of these symbols mean. I think that one might be Connery, and it's just like a little angry face with cat ears. But we'll let him do that. What are we thinking? Like out on deck?
I was thinking someone's a distraction and then the other tries to steal. But it'd have to be a very good distraction. Maybe, and I look at Jeffrey. Jeffrey can help.
Oh, yes. Because I think either of us would be pretty good at causing a distraction.
I would suggest it be me. If only because I have to bend down really far to reach him.
That's fair. Okay. He doesn't really wear a lot of clothes.
I'm going to assume it's in the otter pocket.
That was my big fear. It was that or the hat, and I was kind of thinking probably the otter pocket. Okay.
There's a third option, but I'm assuming it's not there.
You mean his satchel, right?
His prison pocket?
this is how it comes out that Edgar's been to prison.
Otter prison.
Has
It's
Edgar
pretty-
been to prison?
It's hard shit. No.
Life on the rocks. Oh,
Okay,
his vest pocket? What?
Bolts in the name of the law.
Yeah. Yes, sure. The best pocket. Yeah.
Jeffrey, maybe we should get you a coin one of these days.
Just take a copper coin and write something on it.
Okay, we'll have to brainstorm what to put on the coin. But okay. I feel like he's been unchallenged for a while, so we could really do this
Yes.
anytime.
He actually has been unchallenged for a very long time, at least to my knowledge. After at least taking off a finger, people stopped for a while.
Yeah, that would do it. Okay, so be careful is really what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they usually practice in the late afternoon. We could go out there then. Like, when they're on a break.
I can talk to Valerie and Edgar and see what their plans are for when they plan on leaving. They are people I know very well.
Good. Excellent. Yeah, she kind of scares me a little bit, but I think that might just be her proximity to Edgar.
Yeah. Valerie's cool.
Good. Cool. Maybe I'll talk to her more. Except also, like, I have all this shit to do.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. And I like pound on your desk like once or twice. Good talk. I just awkwardly turn around and go.
Little Jeffrey does not go back to the door. He's working on a very 3-year-old level skill map of the ship and like where Valerie and Edgar usually hang out, and there's like a big giant arrow and like stick figures. It's good. Proud of him. If I had a refrigerator, I'd put it up on the
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Valerie and Edgar typically place up on the main deck just at like the corner where the forecastle is. So they sit on a couple of barrels, they play their music during the day, they take a break like every couple hours, and sometimes Valerie will go off to play cards and Edgar will crawl up on her shoulder and just be there. But typically any given day they're just strumming along, trying to keep the shanties going because it keeps the work easier.
Well, and if they're playing, they don't have to do the other work.
It's work in and of itself, yeah.
Yeah, but it's better
Playing
than
music's a real job.
swapping the decks.
Yeah,
That's not what I was saying.
I know. I know what you're saying. I'm being pedantic. No, but they're also not really members of the crew. They are guests. So, but yes, it's a nice thing for them to do. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so the day arrives. What are we looking at?
I'm gonna head up to Valerie and Edgar. Actually, there is something I haven't done in a while.
Mm-hmm.
None of y'all know this about me, but Acacia's actually proficient in playing the flute. So,
Oh, heck let's go.
I actually what?
I'm sorry. I like the idea of like Acacia being proficient in playing the flute in the sense like her dad's encouraged her to do it in high school, and she's like she's that level of
No.
Acacia was in trotting band,
No, but no, Acacia actually comes up when at the appointed time of when you and I are supposed to do this with a flute, and actually goes up to Valerie and Edgar asking if I could play.
Okay. Well, I will say, Eva,
I'm gonna spend some time talking out with songs that we want to play together. If they say yes, and then
Please.
use that as distracting time.
Eva, since this is actually a PC of yours, did you want to play Valerie at all?
I love Valerie, and I would love to play, but also I'm trying not to lose any appendage to Edgar. So,
Sure.
yes, thank you, but I'm going to cast guidance on myself and pray.
Well, yeah. So, Valerie, figures out like, oh yeah, no, I'm sure that if you wanted to accompany,
Is that how I
we've
sound?
you had kind of a vocal fry. I'm doing my best. Give me a break.
I'm out of practice. I'm bored and I don't want to swap the decks. And also,
yeah,
I haven't
we
seen
don't
you in a
really
while.
have any woodwinds. It's just 2 string instruments. That'd be really nice if you did want to give us some sort of accompaniment. Sure.
I look down at Edgar. What about you? You got any problems? All right. And I will. I love him so much. And yeah, I'll take some time to do some like warm ups with them, like specifically try and like warm up to figure out like how this is gonna work, and then give that opportunity to Winnie.
Okay. So yeah, there is at one point, Winnie, this is you notice that they're doing some warm-ups. Valerie actually stands up at one point to help Acacia get the finger position correctly. I'm not going to use the proper term because you all
No, I know how to play. I don't need help.
Okay, all right. She backs off.
It's just been a while.
But yeah, Edgar is kind of like tuning his lute so he can hit that C sharp.
Mm-hmm. Proud of him.
What are you looking? What opportunity are you looking for, Winnie?
I would like to, because I don't want to interrupt like while they're like mid song. I do want to kind of. I don't want to rush into anything, but I would like to scope it out and like see. When I'm eyeing the otter pocket at first, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yes. For those of you not familiar with otter anatomy, they have a little, almost like kangaroo pocket, like right around here on their chest, that they can store little rocks in. They store their favorite rocks to break open clamshells.
And also if they're pretty.
Yes.
I love them. So I'm gonna see like, does he often leave that unguarded? Is it like, does he have a weird little piece of armor over it for aesthetics? Or, when...
Edgar, you would see, I'll give this to you with your passive, everything like that. Vest, the pockets are fake on the vest. And he doesn't wear any armor or anything else like that. It is just like performance vest. It's got this nice kind of like, trim to it. That's it. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be the otter pocket.
Great.
As far as protection, he is playing a lute, so there is like something in front of it.
Sure. I think I will probably like wait until like there's been a little bit of like I'll sit, I'll watch, I will enjoy, and then I will probably wait because I'm not sneaking up and sneaking out without him seeing me at all. Sure. So I will probably tip them at the end and go in as I don't know if there's a little otter cap on the ground. But yeah, I will put the money down and then I will try and do a little quick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're finishing up a song. Valerie actually has turned to Acacia. I think it might actually be time for a break. If there's any drink you might want, I'm gonna go down to the galley. If you want to come with me. And she looks at Edgar. Do you want anything? He goes, "Hara." She goes, "Tea? Hara? Mint tea? I'll see what Honey has." So as you were dropping your coins, Edgar has looked away. Valerie is looking away. I'm giving you as much advantage as you can possibly have. He has lowered the loot. Go ahead and roll. I'm going to say that being it is part of his body, I would give you disadvantage. Being that everything is distracting, looking away, I'm giving you the advantage. So it's going to be a flat roll.
Valid.
This is a high DC. Go ahead and try to steal off of Edgar.
I'm already thinking ahead to if it's going to be worth using advantage.
We're gonna find out.
Okay,
Can
and
I donate my crit?
I cast guidance, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna need my D4. I guess I don't need it, but I'm gonna want it. That's not a 4.
Absolutely.
I did find my D6 to anyone who was still worried about that. 14, 24, 26, 27.
That was
31?
before the D4?
31.
Well, it was 27 plus 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm astonished at the number. There's no way he could
You
read.
said sleight of hand, right?
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing I'm good at.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not true.
That's not true, but it's the best thing.
Even if he rolled a 20, he could not reach 31 with any skill that he possibly has. You are successful. You drop a coin, and in so doing, are able to, like, pinky and ring finger slip the coin out of his outer pocket. You almost get, like, the rock. You're able to very, like, so dexterously, I mean, demigod level of dexterity in slipping the coin off and walk away. Nobody noticed. You have successfully gotten Edgar's coin.
Yes.
Which, as you look at it, has his paw print actually engraved into it.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
And on the other side, it says, "If you took this from me, I'll kill you." No, it doesn't.
Excellent. I'm going to betray nothing. No winks, no smiles. I'm just going to say thank you as always for honoring us with your music. It's very nice and appreciated.
And Valerie turns to you and goes, "Yeah, I'm really glad you like it."
Yeah.
And as Valerie and I go below deck, so I'm just thinking to myself, I didn't hear any angry otter noises, so she must have done it.
Can I roll to see if I can drop it into Acacia's pocket as we walk away?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh
Are you
God,
doing this without
framing me?
Acacia noticing? Are you framing Acacia?
I'm just curious. No.
Okay.
No.
I'm not even sure that's necessarily a roll to. I mean, I guess it would be a sleight of hand based on them noticing. So
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
we'll
Probably not, because it's a 21.
If we're just going against my passive, I notice.
Yeah. I assumed.
Give you the nod.
Yeah.
I had Edgar roll. He got a 20, so you barely beat Edgar seeing you dropping this coin into Acacia's pouch. But
Ooh.
It could have been anything.
could have been anything.
He wouldn't know. He has no reason to think it's his
Coin.
his coin. Okay.
Oh.
Hooray.
I get lemon water with Valerie.
Okay. All right. Congratulations to Winnie and Acacia on this masterful heist. Anything anybody else would like to do before the night of the 20th arrives?
I would actually like to find Marcus on the ship.
Yes. He is at the helm, as he said he was. Nods to you as you arrive. Captain.
Is there anyone else around?
There's probably a couple other sailors on the deck as well. They typically are.
Okay, so I will talk in a very hushed voice. And lean in. Do you know anything about were sharks?
his eyebrow goes up. I've encountered one in the past. Yes, ma'am. Terrible thing to have aboard a ship, if I'm being honest.
Funny you should say that. You see, about coming up on a month ago, today, actually, I think a bit. When he made a concoction from one of Constance's books, and we're hoping it works. But we don't actually know until tonight.
I see. And at this point, he turns to the other sailors who are up there. Gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind finding tasks elsewhere. And they go off, don't really say anything. Is anyone else aware besides you and Winnie?
The whole inner circle and Connery knows. And I think Constance probably knows, but she's really smart.
All right. How would you like to proceed with this?
As discreetly as possible.
Understood. Are you looking to take your chances in the water? Or are you looking to get barricaded in some sort of way?
I feel like the water is a bad choice. Because if it does happen, I don't think anyone would actually be able to stop me. Barricaded, there's at least a chance.
Very well then. I have never gotten the chance to imprison my own captain before, so first experiences.
You're welcome.
Shall I signal for your friends, or are you trying to handle this alone?
Send Sorona to the redemption with a message. But unless otherwise noted, they should stay on the redemption.
The message being that tonight is your transformation?
Scheduled, in theory. Just a little reminder, I guess. And that if you should need help, you will signal.
Very well. Best of luck, ma'am.
Luck's never been on my side, but we'll see.
As the night goes on, the day goes on into night, he takes you below decks into the hold where the brig is and the two cells. And he opens the gate. He has a ring of keys. Opens the door to the cell. I will ensure that regardless, you have food and water for tonight.
And nobody else comes here?
No one will know.
Thank
I
you.
assure you of that. I have arranged for distractions for the crew on the top deck.
Thank you.
I, with your permission, ma'am, will be here the entire time.
It's your life, not mine. Might want to bring a book. Not much of a talker.
Fair enough. Winnie, I actually might have lost Winnie. We will say that, and I will tell Winnie once she gets back, the Tressum does travel, flies across, is able to communicate the message that tonight is Scarlett's changing. We can say that Winnie told Acacia and Proximus. Are either of you going to do anything? You were basically told tonight's the night that Scarlett potentially might become a wereshark. And we'll hold off. What do they do? So the Tressum travel across, basically told Winnie that tonight is Scarlett's changing, and that Scarlett is looking to do this on her own. You communicated this to everyone else. Are any of you looking to go across and assist in any way? Okay, so you're told Marcus would signal if he needed help, but otherwise...
I look at Proximus and Winnie when we get this message, and when Winnie tells us 5 gold, she doesn't change.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, not gonna lie, I kind of forgot that was today. I kind of thought we
You've
had more
been
time.
busy.
Yeah.
You've been really busy.
Not really great planning on my part, but
What about you, Proximus? 5 gold. Do you trust that the potion worked?
I mean, I believe Winnie has a great. She is good at her job, for real. I would wager that.
to be fair, I don't really get paid for it, so I don't know if it's actually my job. But thanks.
You are good at everything that you do.
Well, I haven't gotten anyone killed recently, so thanks.
That doesn't help. That does not reassure me.
Okay, well, it looks like little Jeffrey's gonna put in 5 gold too, and yeah, I'll bank on that. But I think it's really banking on Scarlett. Cause you know I'm hoping the best for her. But if she does change, I think I know what I would do differently in that little potion next time. Not that there should be a next time, but
More paprika.
was I supposed to put paprika in there?
It's the smoked paprika every time. It's not just regular. You gotta get the smoked kind.
That was a joke, right?
Shit. I didn't get smoked paprika. But that does sound really good.
I can't tell if that was a joke or not.
It was a joke, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh good. You know, that would probably make it taste better, though.
Does paprika have magical or alchemical properties, though?
If it's smoked, it does. I love that we're now determining that a were-shark anti-serum is savory.
Yeah.
Because paprika it's not sweet. No, it's a savory drink.
Well,
It's like a Bloody Mary, which makes sense.
He's gonna wander, off a little bit and just, start jotting notes as to, if the smoked paprika would, cancel out any of the actual, medicinal effects.
Yeah, wolfsbane for werewolves, smoked paprika for were-sharks. Everybody's got something.
as Winnie is walking away and just mumbling with Proximus there. Hopefully everyone's still alive on the ship come tomorrow morning.
Do you want to go over?
No.
Really?
I mean,
I'm curious. I really am.
Well, one, Scarlett said that Marcus would signal. 2, I don't know if I want to deal with a were-shark.
okay, but if he has to signal, she's gonna come back.
He's already
hearing that there's,
pretty dead.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to even if they're right close by, it's a lot of time that they might not have.
And what do you think the signal will be?
Yeah,
I like something more
Magical.
specific, you know?
I'm sure whatever it is, it's going to be very obvious.
I would hope, but also okay, here's the thing. Scarlett doesn't have to know we're waiting on deck, right? And
Right.
we don't have to be there all night, probably.
I mean, I can fly, so I can actually be above the ship.
I can make us. I can
get on the ship. I can swim and I can get on the ship. Don't worry.
Do you want to fly? I can make you fly. I can allow you to fly. Make is a terrible way of
And don't you
phrasing
have a
it.
thing where you can walk up the walls, Acacia?
No,
Oh.
that was Winnie.
Oh yes, that is right.
But yeah, I can. Yes, I was
If
I
you're-
have it somewhere.
If you're going to go on deck anyway, I'll follow just to make sure you two don't. Well, to make sure Winnie doesn't get killed. Proximus, you can hold your own.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a little slow, but we can just
On deck.
be back up. Yeah.
You don't have to. I can fly over and then let you know what's happened.
But
I
it's
just
the
want to
same
kind of
thing.
see.
You're just nosy.
And we can.
I am very.
It's okay
Is
to be
my
a
nose-
snoop.
Do I have a big nose?
No, it means you just like. It means getting a lot of information, putting your business where it shouldn't be, and stuff like that.
It's okay to
Your nose is fine. It's perfect.
want information. And we can like just sit on the deck and look at the stars and
That's what I
tell
was gonna do anyway.
stories. Yeah. It'll be fun.
I need to finish filling in my star chart for the area anyway.
Yeah. Okay, good. Maybe we could get some like little marshmallows or something. Anyway, okay, are we going over now? Gotta be honest, I don't know what time of day it is.
It's getting later in the day. It's probably around like 6 o'clock.
Okay.
We should get there before the moon rises.
Yeah.
The sun is getting very low.
Hey there, big guy.
Let's go.
Winnie is going to go procure a picnic basket from Honey.
It's all of it spicy.
I think even after that elixir is worn off, the tonic, excuse me, that's where I get into trouble. I think she's still kind of got a little taste for it. So not all of it, but if there's a little bit of like chorizo and peppers.
Yeah, you
Maybe
know,
a
ship's
curry?
galley just packed with chorizo.
It could be. It keeps.
Just get that sriracha.
Anyway,
So much sriracha.
so
You find wheels of pepper jack that you're just munching on.
Winnie is going to hand it to Proximus or Acacia. Just like hold it out to one of them.
Proximus, take it. He's not going in the water.
Yes,
I took the swim.
Oh,
I'll keep it dry.
you don't want to fly? It'll keep you dry, and that way when it gets cold,
All right,
it'll...
fine. Do you want me to fly and I'll carry you?
Oh, that's much nicer than what I was gonna do, which was... Yeah, okay.
Okay, we'll do that.
Thank you. That's significant.
Okay.
Anyway, I cast fly on you. So please get over there in fewer than 10 minutes.
Yes.
Like a wingless pegacentaur, you cross from one ship to the other. Let's see, the night is getting closer. The sun absolutely is moving beneath the horizon at this point. And as that beautiful hue of pinks and purples and yellows and oranges sinks beneath the waves, the stars begin to come out. And with them, the light of the sun is somewhat replaced by the light of a full moon. Scarlett, within the brig, a single window with bars on it, looking outwards. This silver light breaks through and hits you like a beam. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna use one of my rerolls.
Mhm.
Dirty 20.
You begin to feel your bones, your blood, your very form shift slightly. And as the change begins, we are going to take our break. And we will be back in about 5 to 10. I'm going to have a little discussion with my players, and then we'll be back and we'll determine what this looks like for Scarlett. Stick around. Do the things. Avast and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Horizon's Call. Before we jump back into the action, I just want to send out a little reminder that if you appreciate what we're doing here today, if you appreciate these people and like what they're doing, you can always show your appreciation financially, which is very much appreciated, through our Pally account, which you can see in chat. Pally takes everything that you donate, evenly distributes it based on shares to our cast and production staff. And if you choose to do so, or if you donate through Twitch, you can impact this game, including creating black spots like we are about to resolve now. This has been a long, ongoing black spot to resolve. So, to set things up, how did we get where we are? During the invasion of Korra, Sahuagin, who, as several societies of Sahuagin are wont to do, pray to their god, which is a god of sharks. Certain types of Sahuagin, certain zealous members of their society, also engage in the transmission of were-shark lycanthropy. When they do so, yes, I am here, thank you. When they do so, they become closer to their gods. During the invasion of Korra, Scarlett was bitten by one of these Sahuagin were-sharks. She was corrupted with this lycanthropy. In the time since, she has prayed to gods. She has imbibed liquids to help her fight off this curse. And now the time has arrived to determine how successful all of her measures were. I will say, out of character, to you, the audience, I am going to rely heavily on safety cards for my players. If anything yeeks you out, please take care of yourself first and foremost. I am going to try not to be overly graphic with my description of lycanthropic transformations, but they are nasty things. So, again, to my cast, please use your safety cards. Greens, yellows, reds. If we do see a red, we are immediately going to break. For those in the audience, take care of yourself first, since I can't see your cards. Sorry. Set the scene now. Scarlett, you find yourself in the brig. Moonbeam hitting you like a wall of force. The transformation shuddering through your body. Outside the bars, before your vision begins to blur, you see Marcus Ashe, the flame behind his eyes as it goes wide, seeing this transformation ripple through you. To the rest of my players, your characters are above the ship, on the ship. There's not really much you can see from where you are, or hear, because the top deck has been covered in the sailors. 30 sailors all dancing. Music is playing. The lanterns are hanging. It's bright. It's joyous. Music is drowning out what you would otherwise hear from 2 or 3 decks below. Scarlett, as your vision begins to blur and you feel your bones snapping and the tendons of your muscles disconnecting and reconnecting, shifting, this change in your body, which is trying to, it's the white blood cells are fighting to stay the way that they are, as this transformation, like a virus, is fighting to change them. Every aspect of your being shifting, reconfiguring, fighting against that reconfigurement. Your vision blurs, and as you fall back, your bones cracking within your skin, your head thuds against the ground, and your vision goes dark. And when your eyes open, you are deep beneath the water. You can feel it pressing around you. Not in the way that it was with your patron, where you're standing on the ground. You can't see any ocean bottom. You can't see any light from above. But there's this ambient blue light all around you. And there is something massive swimming around you. And again, not the serpentine worm-like creature from where you get your powers. This creature is very clearly fin and teeth. A torpedo of flesh meant only to feed. and transfer this curse. I'm going to have you roll for initiative, as you are going to fight your inner shark.
Well, that's a nat 1, so 4 in total.
Okay. 4 in total. All right.
Good job.
We're going to have this giant shark, a corrupted giant shark as the stat block that I'm using.
Love this for me.
Slightly modified. Okay. So, we are going to change this over, the music, as... As you fight your own transformation. Okay. Swimming in this water, we're going to treat this as normal combat. You have full movement to do whatever you need to do. You have access to all of your normal powers, but this combat exists within like the planescape of your mind. This shark is going to come, again, torpedoing directly at you, teeth trying to take a bite out of you. There are 2 things to this. Thanks to Winnie's elixir, you are going to have advantage on all of your attacks. Thanks to your attempt at healing through the divine, this creature is going to have disadvantage on all of its attacks. Okay. What is your AC?
16.
16. Okay. Let's see. Cool. That is a 17. So it is going to hit you with this. You are going to take 20 points of piercing damage as the teeth sink into your side. Very similarly, the same place, really, that wereshark bit you before. Really kind of twisting in and getting you under the arm and in the side. And there's no blood. You have no blood to give in your own mind, but you feel the pain and the twisting and the snapping of bones, and it's like a part of you has gone missing. What would you like to do?
First off, I would like to use my bonus action and cast Tasha's Otherworldly Guise. That does give me +2 to AC and allows me to do 2 attacks.
A new spell. Okay.
A new spell enters the playing field.
And
AC up to 18.
Okay, so as I understand, this does change you a little bit. Any changes you would like to describe in addition to the AC, anything like that?
No, because Kaila hasn't had time to think of them.
Okay, fair enough. Always deal with it later.
We'll always deal with that later. This might be a new up and coming thing that Scarlett uses, so it's like, oh shit, I can do this now. All my weapon attacks, I don't use a weapon, but are now magical. And I can attack twice instead of once when you take the attack action on your turn. And I am immune to... I can choose. I'm going to go upper planes. I'm immune to radiant necrotic damage. And I am immune to charmed condition, keeping with the upper planes.
That's very helpful. Okay.
I just fucked your shark over.
Not at all, in fact. But no. Is that it for your turn? Or is that a bonus action?
That's a bonus action. So I do get my 2 attacks. As long as you do consider a singular Eldritch Blast as an attack. And not... Okay. Then both... I need more dice for this. Shit. Gotta call in the reinforcements. Hopefully this character's dice doesn't hate being used for this. First Eldritch Blast, both beams going to hit shark. Of course, because it's the only target.
You got 1 target, yeah.
Well, that's a 16 on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other beam is... Math is hard. It is a 25.
Both hit?
Okay. I'm going to use roll 20 for damage rolling because I can't today. So the one does 12.
Mm-hmm.
The other does 8.
Okay.
And then second attack.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
Yep.
And a 21.
Yep. Has an AC of 13.
Perfect. 11 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 damage.
Okay. Already looking pretty damaged from this magic that you're blasting at this shark. Still, it goes to circle back around at you. You as you're hitting it, you can see that like the energy is wearing away at whatever this being is, and as it comes closer towards you in this ambient light, you can see not what would be a traditional beast, not as what a traditional animal. This thing is twisted and wrong, and it's like it has aspects of you in it. There's things that just aren't quite right. The coloration is wrong. The eyes are dead and twisted. The shark's teeth, there's too many rows, and you feel a twist in yourself. I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay, that's fine. 17.
17 actually just gets it. Very well done. It was a DC 17. So you do not take any damage as this thing blasts out this torrent of energy at you, which you determine to be psychic in nature. But it does still come in for the bite. It is not going to hit. That actually is only a 13 to hit. So it goes to take a chomp. You read exactly what it was doing. It's got one thing. It's a shark. Teeth at the front, tail at the back, propels it forwards. It is your turn again as you have sideswiped this thing.
I would like to cast Blight.
Absolutely.
I need a Constitution save of 16.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, +5 to con. That's a 19.
Son of a bitch. Okay, it still takes half damage.
Okay.
And it's 22 points of damage. Necrotic damage.
Okay, so does it take 22 or does it take 11?
It takes 22. I rolled a 44.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
It depends on how you take Blight. I feel like that is less of an attack than what Eldritch Blast would be. I know some GMs are weird about spell attacks being for 2 attacks, so that is up to your discretion. And you're muted.
You're muted.
I apologize. I was asking questions. Okay, let me take a look real quick at Otherworldly, and I will make a very quick on-the-fly determination that I might take back later. Okay, so immune, +2. All your weapons attacks. You can attack twice instead of once. When you take the attack action on your turn, you ignore this benefit. Like extra attack. Okay. I'm thinking if you do, we can consider this. We can consider stuff like Eldritch Blast. That's a cantrip. We can consider cantrips an attack. I think for heavier spells, that isn't necessarily taking the attack action.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So anything else for your turn?
That is it.
Cool. Okay, back to Daddy Shark. There we go. Okay. It is going to, let's see. We're going to have it roll for regeneration and then also for its psychic maelstrom to get that back. It does not get a psychic regeneration. It does get 5 points of health back as you would watch as it like twisted kind of heals. It scars over in certain places. And okay. It's going to come in for another bite. It's got 1 bite attack. That is definitely going to hit. That's a 26. So you are going to take, what's that, 3d10. So it's 2, 3. Okay. So 5, you're going to take 11 points of piercing damage, and I'm going to need a charisma saving throw now.
26.
26 succeeds. You do not take a level of exhaustion. Okay.
The hell
Your
is
turn
this
again.
goddamn shark made out of?
It is corrupted, if that helps.
No, it doesn't.
You know what, Scarlett? It's made of you, is what it's made of.
I don't like that.
Okay. So, coming back around to your turn. Also, I want to describe what anybody else would be seeing. This is Scarlett on the floor, convulsing, with like her skin turning that like sandpapery shark gray color. Like if they were to look as her like head flings back and her mouth opens, rows of teeth, and her eyes, like with that thing that sharks do where they roll over white when they go to take a bite at something. She is transforming. There is like a fin trying to press through. She's getting larger. She's ripping through her clothing at this point. It is... The sound also is horrible. The snapping, not only of bone, but of muscles. Have you ever heard a muscle snap? It is gross. I don't even have a better word. It's disgusting. This is not a very pretty thing. But yes, we're back to your turn, Scarlett.
I would like to cast Blight again.
Absolutely. So, Constitution save.
16.
That is a 13, so it does not succeed.
Wonderful. That is 32 points of damage.
32. Okay. Looking real rough. We're going to have this thing... I'm sorry, anything else for your turn? Okay.
Is screaming a free action?
Always is. It gets 6 points of regeneration. I'm going to have it roll to get its Psychic Maelstrom back. It gets that back, so we are going to... Wisdom saving throw from you, please.
It's an 11.
Okay. So you are going to take 16 points of psychic damage. How you looking?
About half. So not great,
About
but not as bad as I could.
We're going to take a bite attack then. That is a 27 to hit. So
Holy shit.
You're going to take... It has a plus 10. 16, 18, 24 points of piercing damage.
Remember how I said I was doing good?
Yeah, your damage is great. It is your... This thing is also looking pretty rough. You've got this, I would say, well below half of where it began. So
great.
It's... You could potentially end it on this turn with a good enough roll. So, go ahead. What would you like to do for your turn?
I am going to use my last spell slot and use Blight one more time.
Okay.
So that's a con save of 16.
It rolled a 24.
Damn it. So half of 38. I can't do math. That's 17? 17? No.
Isn't it?
Is it?
No,
17?
that's
it is
19.
17. I can't math. It is 19.
19, yeah.
I'm not a math guy.
Anything else for your turn?
I would like to take so Scarlett has a chain and a pouch around her neck.
Mm-hmm.
She would like to pull it out. It does have the stone with Corvus's name carved into it that she keeps.
Okay.
Praying to someone who's dead is a free action, right?
Okay. It is the Wereshark's turn. I'm going to have it roll for regeneration. It only gets 1 point of health back.
Great.
I'm going to have it roll for its Psychic Maelstrom. It does not get that back. And now it's Bite, which is only a 14 to hit.
Good.
It is your turn again.
I would like to cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Twice. So the first one is a 19.
A 19 does hit.
22.
Mm-hmm.
So that round it is 6 plus 8.
Okay, so 14. Okay.
19 again.
Yep.
And 19 again.
Yep. This could be it.
8 plus 14! 22 points of damage.
20. Oh, 8 plus 4. Thank goodness.
8 plus 14.
Okay. It had 15 hit points. I was hoping you hadn't just rolled 14 in total.
No. God, no.
Okay. Describe how you go to finish this thing.
All of these pent up emotions and all of these things that Scarlett has never actually learned or actually dealt with feeling have all bubbled to the surface at this point, because essentially, like you said, she is battling herself. She is battling the awful, the bad that she has kept inside since as long as she can remember. So there is a lot of screaming. There's a lot of crying. There's a lot of acceptance of all the bad that she has done and self-reflection. And at the end, there is just exhaustion. As she just finally... A sense of exception, I think, is what really pushed it to the edge to just be able to take the last blow.
As these Eldritch Blasts crash into this shark as it is barreling towards you, mouth open. And again, this is a huge shark. This is a megalodon-sized shark. Its mouth goes around you. You don't even touch teeth as you go through. And like a shadow dissipates around you. This failed final chomp. Let me change the music here. Let's see. Scarlett, you open your eyes in the brig of the Bloodhound as this final scream escapes your throat. And as your eyes adjust to the moonlight streaming in to this otherwise... I mean, there's not even a lantern in this room. There are two light sources. The light from the moon and the light coming off from Marcus. He has closed the cell door and is holding you by the back of your neck. You look around and there's... It looks like an abattoir in this room with the blood that is all over the floor. But as you look around, it almost like smoke evaporates. And your body aches. And your clothes are in tatters. And you are covered in sweat and your own viscera of sorts. But born anew, you remain Scarlett Shores. And Marcus looks down at you, and you can see that there are scratches on your arms, perhaps left there from your own claws. And he is very gently trying to just apply a little bit of heat to close them. And there's a sting where he does. And as you stop shuddering, he says, "Welcome back, Captain."
I never want to do that again.
I personally don't want to see that again.
That's fair.
He reaches behind him and pulls out a folded blanket and kind of puts it over you. We can stay here for however long you need. Whenever you're ready to stand, I'm happy to escort you back to your quarters, ma'am.
I don't know if I could stand if I wanted to. So maybe staying here until some undisclosed amount of time, honestly, might be what's best.
We have as long as you need. And
Seems
might I
sweet.
say, ma'am, good show. Well done.
Yeah, sure.
The rest of you, having not really heard, seen anything, no signal was given, no warning sign made. What is the rest of your night looking like?
It sounds like there's a party.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I'm partying, at least drinking.
Yeah, Marcus broke out the casks. He got the music out. Like the sailors are dancing on the top deck. It was like you, even from where Scarlett and Marcus are, you can hear like the stomping coming through the boards and like the music coming from above. Like there is like a small celebration above you, and it's like being in an apartment complex where it's just echoing through the wood. Okay, yeah, Acacia's partying. Awesome.
Dude, I have
Proximus
2 left
winning.
feet. Let's
You
go.
do, literally.
Oh my god. Winnie's going to, I mean, she's gonna have some of the picnic stuff, but, you know, if there's... she's gonna see Acacia going off and enjoying herself, but, does Proximus look like he's heading in that direction?
I think I'm going to meet the crew and, shake hands. Make sure that everybody is doing okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, Proximus, you meet the crew. They are about as eclectic as the Redemption's crew are. Number of different types of beings from really all over the place. There's some folks from Cora. There are some folks that were picked up recently in Umberlee's Eye. There are some folks who had been around beforehand. Anybody in particular you might be looking out to? Any type of people. It's kind of like
Oh no, I think in general, just looking for anyone, just introducing myself as the first mate of the Redemption, and I am here to ensure that we are in line with each other, and the politics, if you will,
Sure.
of being seen, and then introducing Winnie. Everyone knows Winnie. She brought food.
Proximus, you 100% get picked up by Krej, the bugbear bosun, and she goes, "Dance with me, little fella," and she's just like literally swinging you around on her extra long
legs
bugbear
just
arms.
flinging back and forth. I love it. Yeah.
Let's get some music going. Okay. No, not that one. Let's do. There we go.
That's perfect.
Okay. And yeah, Winnie, as you're getting introduced as Proximus, literally gets swept away. You would see, as you set down your picnic basket, there's a gnomish man who comes up to you and kind of like climbs the barrel and he goes, "Hi, you got food?"
Hi! I'm Winnie.
Hi.
I've got food. Do you want food?
I do. I'm Boondoggle Shortbutton.
Of course you are. It's awfully nice to meet you.
You got any spicy stuff?
You are in luck. Here, check this out. It's chorizo. We're not supposed to have it, apparently.
I don't know who said that. Okay. Well, as Winnie finds her new romance in Forest Gnome Boondoggle Short Button, we will cut away to the next day, and actually the rest of your journey, as several weeks are still have to go. So let's go ahead and get some travel music going then. What do the next few weeks look like for everybody? I guess let me start with Scarlett. What does the next day look like for Scarlett?
A lot of pulled curtains.
Yes.
No sunlight, no noise. Very
Post
achy.
migraine behavior.
Yeah, very all the joints ache. There's not a way to get comfortable.
It's as if all of your bones were broken, reset, and have almost just healed all at the same time. It is full body ache. So especially for somebody who doesn't sleep, that's pretty rough.
Yeah. And I am pretty sure she can sleep if she wants to. It's just I don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But yeah, can't get comfortable. Definitely not going to sleep.
Okay. Okay. What does the journey look like for everybody else? This can include Scarlett as well. But you've got a better part of 3 weeks, just a little under 3 weeks left. So I think it's actually 28 days. What are we doing with the time?
And
actually, I need to look at the calendar to see if you're going to hit anything. I'm sorry, Mare. Please go ahead.
When are we hitting the Warforge, or is this towards the Warforge, or is the 28?
That is to get to the Warforged.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
This journey is getting you to onboard, getting you to the Warforge. It's even longer to get to Hellhome. But yeah, you're spending about a month at sea to get to the Warforged.
Someone else go. I'm still thinking.
That's travel. Yeah.
Winnie is going to be continuing her magical research, the brunt of which is always the Elder Shard magical boost. I can't think of a more appropriate way of phrasing that, but the magical properties of the Elder Shard, the technical elements of the physical shard itself, etc., etc. So I don't know if that's gonna get me anywhere, mechanically speaking, but that's definitely what she's doing.
So what's your ultimate goal with that? Is it to try to recreate what the shard did, or try to investigate more about the shard?
I mean, because it's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it a piece of something? Shard implies it's part of a greater whole. And
sure.
So what is that? Was it created? Is it like an organic? Like, is it its own thing? Is it like how a diamond is? Like, is it a mineral? Is it created by something like these elder things that Winnie doesn't like? She doesn't not believe in the elders, obviously, they're a thing.
Sure.
But, like, if they're, like, beyond the gods, like, okay, well, is it just turtles all the way down? Is it just gods all the way up? Like, what are we talking? Like, can it be recreated? Can she build a sun in a lab, is what she's trying to do here.
Yeah, that worked out really well for Dr. Octopus.
Wait, had she not mentioned that before? Is this new information to people? Okay.
So Winnie,
Keisha might know. She's definitely coming up back and forth with you.
Yeah, well, and you've like seen her note, and it is definitely like mad scientist lab sort of like. There's notes everywhere, and some of it is like grocery lists. Some of it is like modifications to Jeffrey, with his notes in the margins.
So Winnie, go ahead and roll me. We can call this intelligence. Unless you have any tools you might apply to this, or
buddy, all I got are tools.
I understand. I'm specifying which tools, or potentially investigation if you wanted to consider it that. I think that, or maybe Arcana.
I could do Arcana. I think. I mean, she'd be throwing everything at this. Like, she'd start with her alchemist tools. She would, really, there's everything else and not... Jewelry tools. She would use, like, her jeweler's loop and stuff, and, like...
Sure. Especially, like, for the magnification of it and everything. Absolutely.
Yeah, and, like, try to think
go
of,
ahead and
like,
roll with
mineral
advantage.
knowledge. Thank you. I will take that as a... Yeah. Arcana. That's a dirty 20. And that's a 29. So I'm going to go with a 29 instead,
Again,
please.
very, very good. So, to address some of your questions, the Elder Shard, you very quickly determine, is a piece of the arcane. In the sense that, like, if you wanted to, you could use this shard, which I think I described as like the size of a adult male's forearm, as an arcane focus. You could use it to cast spells. You could use it in the same place as a wand or a stave, much as a wizard or spellcaster would use to transfer magic through. It has an innate amount of magic to it. It is made of magic. However, that is not to say that magical things cannot also be biological. As you are looking at this crystal, it has threads in it that might remind somebody perhaps of a fossil in the way that it was something organic that was calcified, fossilized, and became mineral. So as you're piecing that together and you're thinking a shard of what? It's an elder shard. It is a shard of an elder. It is a piece of an elder's body that fossilized, mineralized, became this type of crystal and can be used in the arcane. So as you're looking at its structure, if Winnie could see DNA and know what DNA was, this thing would have not necessarily DNA, but like the next step after DNA. It would have a genetic structure to it, but not any type of genetics that Winnie would be familiar with, or anybody on the material plane would necessarily be familiar with. I would not say it is a carbon-based life form.
Okay. That is more information than I think she had before. And she will turn her future research towards how does one accumulate so much arcane energy in their bodies that can happen. That's,
sure,
not a dangerous path to go down at all. I'm sure it's fine.
I think the first thought that Winnie might have would be liches, who are able to make their bodies near magic, or other beings. Winnie might also want to investigate something called Etherborn, which is another race in Damaris that are beings of literal magic that is transmuted into...
They make me sad.
Yeah. Etherborn are pulled from, again, one of the... Because I actually like a lot of the Magic the Gathering Planescape stuff that they made for D&D. Etherborn are beings that are made through like magical experimentation, or like a spell gone awry or misfired. So say you cast a spell and it hits a wall. In some cases, that spell might actually provide a semblance of life to that piece of plaster that then breaks off and appears humanoid. So there are beings, they don't know how long they have, perhaps seconds, perhaps millennia, but they are beings of magic and matter who exist in the world. And those would be pretty close to beings of pure magic. Again, liches, beings that are able to use magic to prolong their lives and transfer their souls over. There's elementals. I mean, there's plenty of examples of beings that are made of magic, as well as something else.
Yeah, she's going to take at least one hot minute to figure out how the most socially appropriate way to research liches is going to be, for sure. Pretty sure even Winnie is going to take a little hesitation instead of just being like, hey, how do you transcend death?
And this is the rough thing, is Winnie doesn't exactly have like a library to rely on right now.
Right. She's got Constance.
What's the
Another-
D&D equivalent of the FBI watch list?
Oh, Winnie's
It
probably
doesn't
already
exist.
on it for other reasons, but
It's fine.
Winnie also, I will just give this to Winnie. You're headed towards a Warforge city.
yeah.
I mean, there's another thing where beings that there's absolute Warforged like Curia, who are a humanoid soul in a reliquary, which powers their frame. But then there are also Warforged that just magically gain sentience.
So if they can do it, why can't we?
Exactly. Why can't we all just be sentient?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's her.
Wait.
Wait.
And I think, depending on the interest anyone else had shown in it, I don't know what vibe Proximus has given off about the Elder Shards recently. It might not have been like the first day, but Winnie definitely would have like shared like at least the gist of this with Acacia.
Acacia's reaction is just like, yeah, that's what all the stories say. They're shards of the elders.
Right,
Completely
but like,
unsurprised.
this is like, you know,
Yeah, they were very powerful, very magical,
back
and it's bits of them.
Yeah, I thought that was a metaphor. That should be a little
No.
clearer, I think. That could
Did
have
you
saved
not
me
hear?
like 2 whole months. I've been doing this. Two whole months. I could have learned to fish with like a fishing
Acacia's
pole.
like slapping the storybook like it's right here.
I could have learned to cook or some other downtime skill. It's fine. I could have learned another language. It's fine. No big deal. Oh yeah,
Anyway.
Proximus, did you know it was the fossilized body of a not god?
Proximus is so busy right now, and you're just yelling at him.
All the way across the ship. 80 feet
Proximus
away.
is like,
He
I
just-
have to count how much rope we
he
have.
turns
What are you
around-
yelling about.
He's got a journal in one hand and a book in the other, and he's trying to learn knots. He's like,
Oh,
You're
you
on the
do
wrong
need to know
ship
what
for
do
that,
you want
buddy.
from me?
And the trend continues.
It got quiet for too long. Okay.
Anyway, that's Winnie.
I figured
Okay.
that's what I wanted to do in my downtime.
Please.
Okay. At first I'm bored as shit, and then I realized I can actually do something with my time because you said there's still Eve Walkers on board, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's your dad's, there's Valerie, there's Edgar. There's a couple others who didn't necessarily get passage to Umberley's Eye. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be going down and talking to a bunch of folks who did not reside specifically on Korra. People who came in for the trial and or were visiting. I'm basically trying to talk to people, whether they're Eve Walkers or not, that are just anyone, essentially. So new crew that was stuck on Umberley, people who are traveled and might know things. I want to try and gather information to see if anyone has any clues about other astrolabes.
Ah, okay. Let me look at who is on board, and while I do that, why
I'll
don't
go to
you-
other keel boats in the other ship is too at some point too.
Sure.
This is a couple weeks. I got the frickin' time.
You got the time. Go ahead. What do I want to roll this? I don't want to make this just luck because I want to make this based on some sort of skill. This is kind of a secret thing. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
I had to look for persuasion on my list. I'm like, what is it? Oh, I got a nat 20 for a 21.
Fantastic.
Let's
Okay.
go.
With that, you You would definitely hear from some of the Eve Walkers, especially those who might have been stationed in certain parts of the Empire, especially those who were involved more in intrigue as opposed to like theft, that astrolabes, you definitely don't have the only one, but that was definitely what the Red Owl was looking for.
Who's the Red Owl
Especially
again?
The Red Owl was the second session that this crew ever had. It was where they got the very first piece that they knew of that was an astrolabe. There were 3 pieces to the astrolabe. The Empire essentially had the base piece. Winnie unknowingly had the secondary ring. Acacia unknowingly had the crossbar to it.
That's where we met our first were-shark.
Indeed, you met the original Jeffrey. So, go back to Hunt for the Red October. Still the best title I've ever made for the game. But yes, basically, the Empire was looking for pieces of astrolabe. Whether they have gotten any more, not exactly sure. If you talk to some others, there are definitely stories in nautical culture about magical compasses, magical astrolabes, things that lead you to specific treasure. Compasses that don't always point north, they point to specific treasures out there. And even some captains who will magically imbue a compass to otherwise look broken. You know, somebody picks it up, it looks broken, but they would know it to lead them somewhere specific. That doesn't sound quite right to you in the sense of like, this isn't elder magic technology, whatever it is. It's not the same thing. This is newer magic.
It's an illusion set.
Yeah, honestly. But yes, there's stories from, I mean, you talk to dwarves, you talk to the hobgoblins, the elves as well. We haven't gotten quite to that just yet, but definitely if you talk to elves, they would have some knowledge to where they would say that there are stories in Elvish as well that back before, you know, their ancestors being longer lived, there's stories in Elven culture that it wasn't just these smaller rings, that in fact the elves used to dig up, go into ruins, go into these elder, you know, kind of like dig sites and find large rings, large pieces of elder magic and elder technology. So almost like, you know, 4 foot across size rings that are made of the same type of material with the same etching in them as your astrolabe would have.
Am I able to get any of those locations of elder dig sites?
They're just kind of in stories and have long sunk, so they don't have any specifics. It's just kind of like, oh, you know, we told stories about the elders too, and they used to say they would find them here and there. So yeah, no specifics. You're mostly just getting sailor stories at this point.
All right. Especially more of my more trusted Eve Walker companions. I want to let them know and ask them if they hear anything specific to get in contact with me.
Sure. Especially because you're asking specifically for that. Yes, they agree that if they hear anything in the future, once they drop off, that they will definitely take a look at that. One of them does point you also to the magical universities in this world. There are several. One of them actually is in Fall Lamaril, which is when he's home, that caters mostly to sea elves, but it is a magical arcanium. A lot of them try to kind of like have their students, the brightest of the bright, investigate into elder magics and elder technology and try to figure things out along those lines. No one ever really, as far as people know, has made a lot of headway on it, but there's always a class on, you know, figuring this stuff out, finding this stuff, learning more about it.
Okay. And I'll mention
Proximus.
like this to, I'll mention some of this to Winnie since we've talked about this before.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I will actually, if Winnie is told that, Winnie, I will just say your second older brother definitely has attended more than one Arcanium. Maybe he might know something if you're heading that way.
I would mention that to Acacia, that there's leads that we can follow up on. Oh, good.
Talking to nerds. Got it.
Yeah, and I think from this point forward, thinking about that, Winnie's gonna get even kind of more weird, and not frantic, but what am I thinking of? Busy. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. The last thing I want to point out is in the last week, less than a week before you reach on board, it is the technical one year anniversary of when you first set sail, also being the surface day of Scarlett and Proximus. So, with that in mind, anything else anybody would like to do in those last couple of weeks?
I would like to plan a surprise party.
Okay. Michael, what were you going to say?
Proximus is a knight. His background is a knight. So he is doing everything to learn how to be a pirate.
Proximus, I am so sorry. I could have had attendants following you around the whole time. You could have had a little squire. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You could. Oh, the retainer. Yeah.
The retainer.
Yeah, I like it. I like it being the lone knight. But he was a
sea
knight
lion
of the
just
mid-sea.
hopping along.
If you don't take the sea lion attendant, it's
Eva's
over.
might come to the screen. Throw you overboard. You're not allowed back on the ship.
Yeah.
Winnie is taking that jacket back.
They're all back in the mid-seas.
Right.
Maybe if we ever get back to the Nalos, we can find all of Proximus's all of his attendants just standing there, just waiting. They've been waiting there for a year. You think he's coming back soon?
He will be here. He said he would be back.
He wouldn't leave without us. No, of course not. or exactly. All right.
Oh. But yeah,
Great.
he's just learning everything to be the first mate.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and roll me, especially because you're trying to learn knots. You've got a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of being a sailor is sleight of hand. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand with advantage, please.
Well, that's not too bad. 16.
Awesome. Okay. That is a pretty good sleight of hand roll. What I'm going to do, especially since you verbally say that is something you would like to practice more on, if we do enough successful rolls, the DC will get a little bit higher every time. But with enough successful rolls, you will get proficiency in sleight of hand and know all of your knots.
Ooh.
As I said before, because you will spend sometimes months at sea, if there's stuff you want to practice at, how it works. Okay. Scarlett, a surprise party, please.
Yeah. Because I don't care about my surface day, but I do care about Proximus's.
If I remember right, Scarlett's tradition was to sit in a bar with a drink, but not drink it and just stare at people. So...
It would be a celebration on the Fen, but
Yes.
Scarlett would not participate in the celebrations.
Scarlett would buy drinks for everybody else. Yeah.
Yes. Because it was something that she was told that she should celebrate, but she wasn't going to.
So, if nobody has anything else, we will cut to the 12th of Sword Reach. You are now all in late summer. And we can cut to that surprise party. So, what is... I give you the floor.
I didn't plan that out.
Yes, Winnie.
Eva. Winnie.
Okay, but when did you tell us there was going to be a surprise party?
I say, chances are I sent over Serona to give Winnie a message saying, I want to do this. And Winnie was just like, fuck yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Winnie is going
Let's be real. Scarlett does not know how to throw a party.
If she has enough time, she's actually going to be distracted from everything else she was going to distract herself with, and she's going to make rum or some sort of a mead. She'll make a mead with the honey she spit up.
How much
no one
honey
needs
did she
to
speed
know.
up?
I mean, she'll maybe be able to procure honey from somewhere else.
From
a
honey?
gallon.
From honey.
Weirdly enough, a gallon is what you need to make a bottle of honey or a bottle of mead.
Yeah.
Fun fact, takes a lot of honey to make mead.
It
Okay,
does.
how are you going to ferment? You know what? You're an alchemist. I'm not going to ask because it'll make me upset.
Who has proficiency in brewer's tools?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
need a tool.
100%.
Got it.
Winnie, yeah,
And rum
there's
if I
a
have
Winnie
time, but I don't think I have time.
There is a Winnie the Pooh joke here somewhere. You make mead.
Yes. Excellent.
Well done. What is your vintage called? Does Winnie have a label?
She's working on it.
Okay.
But
Like
little
Evangelial
Jeffrey,
Farms or something.
Little Jeffrey is going to etch on the bottle while she's doing the brewing. Happy Surface Day.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't have the skills for it. It's okay. He's trying.
He can do it.
He's our special little man.
Jawsome Estates. Yeah.
Jawsome Estates. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Mead is provided. Yes, alcohol for sure.
Oh, and
Especially
she'll
if
do
you
other party planning stuff on Scarlett's behalf on the redemption, of course.
Or is this a surprise that's being planned on the Bloodhound so Proximus doesn't see it?
Well, I mean, she could be secret about whatever, and anything that Scarlett wants her to do quietly so that Proximus doesn't know, she'll do on the redemption.
Let's be real. Proximus is far too busy now, and Winnie is far too sneaky now for either one to know.
And she'd tell Acacia. Acacia can keep a secret.
Proximus is like, what are these balloons doing here? Wait, no.
They're not in my journal.
These floaty balls are doing what? What purpose is this?
Yeah, if there's any coordination with Honey or Trosho or Sammy, anything, when he's got your back, Scarlett.
Totally. Okay. All right. We'll say the day arrives. What did I say? The 12th of Sword Reach. Is this an evening party?
Yes, absolutely.
Bouncy faces. Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, let's get some music here. No, not that way. There we go.
So many parties.
I know, right?
You all got a lot of time.
One was a morale event. This one's even better.
What was a morale event? Yeah.
One was a cover up.
It was a morale event.
Yeah.
Okay. So the evening arrives, and I guess describe how you surprise Proximus.
I feel like it's probably relatively easy. And honestly, he might even be like, what? So
Just
literally,
now.
just be like, we need to. What is it called when you plank over to another ship?
T-pose?
Board?
T-pose.
Don't we just board?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. Just get the ships real close to one another.
Bring them alongside.
Yeah.
Nest a beam.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Do that. Let's go.
That sounds very cool.
We're gonna nest the beam.
I propose I keep Proximus occupied below decks while everyone that's coming over from the Bloodhound.
Across.
Yeah.
Is it happening at the Bloodhound or at the Redemption? Which is the bigger ship?
If they're attached, it could just be
the Bloodhound.
Yeah, it can be both. That's a good point.
All right, both done.
Little Jeffrey
I'm
was
playing
How does Acacia keep Proximus busy?
Oh God, how do I keep Proximus busy?
Because I feel like he's so task driven.
Hey, Proximus, We found more rope down here.
No, more like
Unaccounted for rope.
More like I have
It's
a very
just all
sensitive.
knotted up, and he's got to undo it.
I'm gonna rope in. Who's really good at keeping a secret? Who talks a lot on the Redemption? What crew person?
Sammy?
Who
gonna
talks
say-
a lot
Sammy
on
talks
the
a
Redemption?
lot.
Sammy does talk a lot.
Sammy does talk a lot. I will also say that there are dwarf twins that Winnie actually hired from the dwarves that she met on Umberlee's Eye. So there's Braggy and Daggy Aylwin, who are like constantly chatting people up.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to propose to like Proximus. Proximus, one of the crew asked me to come get you. They wanted to talk to you about something. First mate stuff. I didn't pry. I didn't answer, and I've got these two dwarf twins in on this to just keep you occupied, and I just got to bring him there. They wanted to talk to you about some stuff on problems they've been having. So.
Oh, well, I am the problem solver. Hold on. Let me grab my journal and... yes, okay. Where are they?
Oh, they're somewhere below decks, and then I'll just start leading them off, and then.
Yeah, they flank you. They're on the other side. Hello, Proximus. Hello, Proximus. So we have a bit of a problem we do. In fact, we want our bunks to be slightly closer to each other. Very much closer. We're used to holding hands while we sleep. Left hands only. Left hands. And they hold their left hands, and they're like holding their hands around you, so you're kind of like roped in at the waist. I don't think he understands. No, he's not listening very well. Jot faster. And then they start speaking in dwarf.
Oh.
Yeah,
And then,
Yeah,
Daggy, you start speaking in dwarf. I know what I'm saying.
Oh. I think I need to listen faster. I...
You're not listening fast enough yet, mate.
Oh, sheesh. Yes,
You're turning blue. Are you feeling all right? You need to keep listening, mate.
Oh, okay, yes. So, beds,
listen
bunks
with your ears,
next
not with your mouth.
together. Could you do that yourself, or do you want me to do that? Put the bunks next to each other?
Well, you see,
Do you
right
just
now,
want
the
one
bunks
big
are
bunk?
above one another, and we would rather them be like not perpendicular. What's the other word? Parallel. But like catacorner. So, because you see, the problem is it's got to be both left hands, so they can't be right next to each other, can they? So they need to be almost like, can we sleep upside down? Are you able to manage that?
Oh. Show me your room.
We don't have a room.
Oh.
Can you get us
okay.
a room?
Well,
We'd really like a room. Can we have your room?
if it would get me out of this conversation, I think I would.
We served at a dwarven ship once. Everybody had their own room, but we shared a room. We had to
You
share
know,
a room.
I had a closet, and that might be enough room. How tall
And
is
they
it?
kind of like lean around. They goes, "That explains a lot, doesn't it?" I called it.
I would let this conversation go on long enough till I think they're ready, and then like, I need to pull Proximus away to somewhere else. Sorry.
Oh,
That's
thank
fine. We forgot what we were
gods.
going to ask for anyway.
Yes, I will get back to you. Let me talk to the captain.
They
Is
just
that
walk
right?
off. He's a very good listener. Very good first mate. I think so.
I don't know what I just did, but
Don't worry
as long
about
as they
it.
are happy.
I could clap you on the shoulder and like start bringing you above deck. There was one other thing I was asked to bring you to. So come on.
Oh, another problem. Oh,
This will be not a problem. I'll just bring you upstairs.
And Proximus, you are brought upstairs to the top deck where there are lanterns hanging and there's light and there's music. And as soon as you walk up, everyone starts cheering and Valerie and Edgar begin to strum and play their music. And again, there's streamers and Winnie has gone all out on this. We're not even do a roll. It's your service day. And everyone kind of in like really bad unison goes, Happy Surface Day! First mate, Proximus.
And Scarlett.
Oh,
You said that.
oh, thank you. He looks back at Acacia and do I still have to get them a room?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Winnie. Thank you, everyone. You are
it was
too kind.
Scarlett. I just did stuff. It was Scarlett's idea.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Also, this is for you and for her. You kind of have to share because I only have like one bottle. But Jeffrey and I made you this. And she'll hand over the mead.
And the casks of rum are broken out. Please, Proximus.
Yeah. Cheers to Surface Day for and 1 year sailing together with Scarlett Shores and the rest of the crew.
And cheer goes up. Everyone's ale goes up as well. Yes, ale and rum are flowing. A dance circle is made. Jeffrey goes in the center. He flosses. It's phenomenal.
I love it.
But it's like because it's a mechanical movement. It's like so fast. He's just like vibrating.
As everyone is drinking and having a good time, I'm going to try to pull Acacia and Scarlett and Winnie aside. You all have been with me from, really the beginning of my time here on the surface. And I believe that all of you have been the most supports for me in my entire life. And so I would like to share something with you. Especially today, I guess, on the anniversary of my surface day. If you would come with me, I want to do this in the water, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's slip away. I don't want the crew to see.
This
and I'll
is
cast,
just raising more questions, but I'm still on board. Overboard, as the case may be.
Cast pass without a trace on all of us so that nobody kind of sees us slink away into the water.
So curious what I get if I have an extra +10 to my stealth.
Yeah.
Still pretty. I rolled a 6 and I got. Hold on. 29.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah, so I jump into the water and you all know that I have broken my oath to Eula, and I have now atoned for that and found a new patron. So I would like to make my new oath before the people that mean the most to me, and that is you. And in Primordial, you hear... Does anybody speak Primordial?
No, I got real excited. I speak Abyssal.
I think I do.
No, the closest I got is Sylvan. That ain't it.
Does anybody speak Aquan?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Aquan is a sub-language of Primordial. Just a suggestion. Because Primordial is broken into like... It's like if Primordial is the Latin, the Romance languages would be like Aquan and whatever the Earth one is and the Fire one is and Ignin. And...
all the different elements.
Yeah, because Primordial is the elemental language.
Yeah. You might get the gist.
Yeah.
Persona, great guardian of the elemental plane of water, I make my oath of the guardian of the infinite seas. I vow to walk the fine line of light and dark, and focus on the righteous of heart. I vow to support my companions and to never let them down. They are my new tribe. I vow to be fluid like water of the oceans, strong, and therapeutic. I vow to be faithful, appreciating the beauty of life, and fear not death. And I vow to be the Redeemer. My journey leads me to the darkness so I can ensure the light for others. And then I'll cast ceremony. I know that dedication isn't necessarily applied to this because I'm not dedicating anyone else, but I am dedicating myself.
It works. It's dedication. It's redemption.
Winnie will lean over quietly and give Acacia the gist of whatever Winnie understood of it.
I think I got the emotional gist based off the tone. Yeah, thank you.
And Proximus, you would feel a thrum through the ocean and a warmth around you. Consider your new oath one that you have internalized and a new path before you that you have dedicated yourself to.
I wanted you to know that I am here for you and dedicate my life to serving all three of you. Whatever has happened in the past, we will move forward, and I will be here for that, too. Thank you for joining me.
You're a good friend, Proximus.
I appreciate you saying that, Acacia. I cherish you as a friend also. And I know you don't use that
word.
I know you don't use that word lightly. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Winnie is just crying and is just gonna throw her arms around Proximus and give him a hug. Big old salty teared hug.
Can't really tell in the ocean, to be honest.
This is a time for a celebration. Let us go back.
Before we go back, I do want to hold Proximus back.
Yeah, Winnie will disappear.
If there's anyone I would like to share a surface day with, I'm glad it's you.
Well, we have been through many things, and I agree with you. I wouldn't want to share this with anyone else.
So, let's celebrate. Not worry about anything for once.
Yes. This has been a hell of a year.
Could say that again.
The next drink is on me.
Back up?
Yeah, you all head back to the ships, but the celebration continues for the surface day of a captain and a first mate. Frenemies, friends. You were frenemies for a bit.
Mm.
An oath declared, a curse resolved. I think this is a very good place to end our session. Thank you to these wonderful people. Literally could not do this without you. You all are absolutely fantastic. That said, this isn't going to end our session because there's one scene that we still need to do that doesn't involve any of you. So, far away to a place familiar to all of you. The burnt ruins of Korra. We go to the ocean waves lapping at the sandy beach where many of the structures, many of the ships there were burned when the Nereians invaded with their Sahuagin allies. It's night, and a single figure rises out of the surf. Humanoid, cast in moonlight. She has slight bioluminescence to parts of her skin that are painted on, a crest that goes down the back of her head. And she is carrying a jagged but ornate trident with black mithril inlay. She walks through the burnt ruins, up the city streets, charred with the ashes of the buildings that fell around them. Towards the city center, there is a slight bonfire, several Nereian soldiers sitting around it, laughing, drinking. Near silently, she steps among them, not trying to be quiet, not trying to obfuscate in any way. And we see a strong Triton woman in armor that would look very familiar. Black mithril, very similar to Proximus's. A gem set in her forehead. And they all stop and look at her. Some reach for their weapons, but she just slams down the butt of her trident, and they take their hands away. Without saying a word, she walks over to one of the walls that remains where several wanted posters have been placed. Your faces. Faces of those you care about. And she tears one off with plaster still stuck to it. And she holds out the face of Proximus, which we determine doesn't actually have his name. It says Proximo. And she holds it out to them, and she says, "Which direction?" Several of them shake their heads, and she forces it more in front of them. She says, "Which direction?" One of them points off to the west. Last report we got, they took several ships to the west. We don't know exactly where they went. She lowers the paper. That will do for now. And she tosses it into the fire in front of them and walks back towards the water. And that is where we're going to end this session. So, thank you to my players. Thank you to everybody. Yeah, a little bit. Thank you to everybody who's stuck around. I appreciate you all. Yes, all my NPCs are hot, even the monsters.
Every single one.
All of them. It's a rule. Okay. So yes, that is where we're going to end today. Thank you to everyone. I very much appreciate you. If you appreciate this cast, which honestly, how could you not? They tell amazing stories. You can show your appreciation financially through Pally. One last time, I will huck this at you. If you are able to, it is very much appreciated, and you can always impact this game. If you ever donate outside of the game, don't worry, the impact still happens. Your advantages, your crits, your black spots all still happen, even if you don't donate. While the game is happening, we still pay attention to it. So all that said, again, from Sword and Key, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'm going to have these people say a little bit about themselves, where you can find them, but one last time, happy birthday, Eva. You're an amazing person. I love you very much.
Happy birthday!
You do want to say an extra appreciation to Eva. Her throne has been in chat this entire time. You can definitely donate through Throne.
Happy Surface Day to you.
Surfaced it.
You made it.
It surfaced into the world.
My mom is not going to understand what I mean by that, but I'll pass.
Probably
that
not. Probably going to be a little bit offended.
What are you talking about?
Want to show some appreciation, you can definitely give a gift. Just if you do, please send a note so we know who to thank. We will absolutely thank you. If you've already donated something and you didn't send a note, let us know so we can thank you. Okay, so Mare, if you don't mind starting us off, tell us about your lovely self, where we can find more of you.
Hello, I am Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find me here playing Acacia, your lovely, amazing Centaur Soul Knife Rogue / multi-class, currently undisclosed. On Thursdays on this same channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we just started the game of Fraying Threads, an Invisible Sun campaign. So please join us next week for episode dos and many episodes to come. And it is not announced yet, but I will be running a game on Neon Lights Roleplay premiering March 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully we'll get that casting announcement soon. Session 0 is today, and the chemistry vibes were just perfect. They're gonna die a lot. It's gonna be great.
Fantastic. What game is it that they're going to be dying a lot?
Printweaver. It's based on
okay.
like the Souls games, so they're just gonna die and come back. It's gonna be fun.
Fantastic. Okay. Very roguelike. Yes, definitely check out all of Mira's games, especially Fraying Thread right here on Sword and Key. And yes, Mira's a fantastic person. So please support them in any way you can. They make these gloves and I love them very much. They keep my hands warm because it's cold here. Okay, Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. You can find me at Mikyl Sandoval on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. I do some art. I posted on there mainly for this lovely crew right here because I love them and that is my love language. And so you can find me here on Saturdays, right here on Horizon's Call, playing Proximus.
Fantastic. And yes, as Mikyl said, he did our art, and it is amazing, and I love it so very much. And definitely check him out where you can find more Proximus art. A lot of Proximus butts out there. Just let you know, if that's something you're into, top tier.
For having really cool armor, Proximus likes to just be naked.
Never wears it.
He's so good. That's all right. It's an anatomy study of Proximus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very good. He's got good glutes. All right. Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila. I'm many faces, many places in the TTRPG realm, as well as I stream on my own channel here on Twitch at KMC. We play a variety of games. We do a lot of painting. Coming up in March, we have March Dating Sim Madness, where we will be playing First Bite, the new vampire mommy. We will be playing Colonel Sanders Dating Sim, and I will be playing Dream Daddy dressed as Charlie Swan from Twilight. So if you would like to see that chaos, you can go follow me on Twitch. Those will be probably Thursday nights and Saturdays for the games.
Are you just dressed as, or are you going to be role-playing as?
Probably role-playing as Daddy Swan too. Let's be real.
Okay, good.
While romancing vampires, it's just him going,
it was a solid question.
No, we're only doing Charlie Swan for Dream Daddy, but to quote to quote our Lord and Savior Pedro Pascal, Daddy is a state of mind.
Sure is. All right. Thank you, Kaila. Definitely check out all of that. It's going to be absolutely wild. Eva, happy birthday.
Thank you. It is indeed more or less 7 hours and 20 minutes until my birthday and time. Yeah, you can find me at the Eva Serrate, where I don't usually post about birthday things unless I have people being very kind to me in very anonymous ways. I am working on some upcoming projects, but nothing too specific. We are still casting for Ryutama. We have, I think it closes Friday? Question mark?
I think it was the beginning of March.
Yeah, it's very beginning of March. And we have a Brindlewood Bay is coming for a short series. that is already cast. It is coming up, I want to say at the end of March. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We will be doing announcements and whatnot soon, but just get hyped for that. And yeah, we've got more Sword and Teas on the horizon, more game chats, more. We're going to introduce some interviews, which is going to be very exciting. And I think that's about it for me. I will announce our raid so that Derek doesn't have to. We are after he gives his bit. We're gonna head over to Transplanar RPG because they are closing out their incredible beyond a campaign at this point, and you should really go check it out. Level 1 to 20, incredible world, incredible cast, incredible rich storyline. So this is their final...
I did write it down to remember to say this time.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we had changed back and forth a couple times, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's me. Derek, take it away.
Fantastic. I shall. Yes. For Sword and Key, definitely give us a follow on Twitter if you would like. It's Sword and Key, separated by underscores, sword_and_key. You can also follow us or join our Discord, rather. It's a lot of fun. There's great places to talk about almost everything under the sun. As long as you are a cool dude, and I know you are more than welcome. And we would love to have you there. So please join us there. Definitely keep an eye out for the games coming up in the future, especially the ongoing games we have right now, like Fraying Threads, the upcoming games like Brindlewood Bay. I feel like I had another announcement. Oh, Sword and Tea, which is a new thing that we are doing. So we do somewhat regular Sword and Teas, where if you have a game you would like us to talk about, we are more than happy to do so, especially indie games. We really want to promote small creators and indie creators. So if you are an indie creator, we would love to have you on to discuss modules or independent games or whatever you have. We have one coming up on the 12th that I will be running with Val, who has been on our channel before with Mare. We will be discussing his Beast Within, which is a werewolf lycanthrope type game that I was very excited about, being somebody who loves werewolves and is literally wearing one right now. So definitely check out Sword and Tea. You can always find all of our stuff on YouTube, older episodes and things like that as well. And for myself, if you want to follow me on best place is Twitter, dsword16. Oh gosh, I think that actually might be everything. Yeah, hang around. We got lots more stuff coming. We got lots of great shows lined up. There's lots of great people here, and we're only going stronger. So again, happy birthday to Eva. And happy Surface Day to Proximus and Scarlett. With that, I'm going to do one last double check here. Yeah, okay. As Eva said, we'll be rating Transplanar, so stick around for that. But that is all from us this week. So until next Saturday, for Horizon's Call, fair winds and following seas, brave mariners. Take care of yourselves.